0.
Ships in Star Citizen are quite something, but having a physical version is something else entirely. That's the mission of Pigeon Spaceport, to bring every ship in the verse to life, starting with the RSI Scorpius. This incredibly detailed model is over 30 centimeters long and will arrive pre-built and painted. Your model comes in one of 3 skins, and no, they don't cost extra. Landed or flying, deployed or folded, you can even change its loadout. It's available for pre-order right now with money off and free shipping. You'll also get this awesome stand and an extra 5% off if you use code DGP when you check out. See the link in the description. Welcome in. Hey, there we go. Everything's working, kind of. I got different lighting set up. We're mucking around with lights and all sorts. Something's going to go wrong at some stage. Drinkers with technical problems I probably should have been, but good afternoon. Welcome in. We're going to be talking about the RSI Aurora Mark Two, which they confirmed yesterday. We've got a bunch of stuff that we're going to do right now and have a look at the trailer. We'll have a look at what we know about it already. But first of all, very first thing, as always, a very good afternoon this time to AV, to Nero, to Brian Havoc, Jukester, Notorious, Calco, to Nova, Jabba, Ray Louderbeck, Single Track, and everyone else. Good to see you all. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. For one of the first times I think that I can remember, we got Star Citizen giving us a trailer ahead of time, which is kind of interesting. So I'm just mucking around. Normally I have one ear half off, so I can kind of hear myself talking, modulate my volume. So yeah, sorry about the mucking around. But yes, so one of the first times that I can remember, we've had a trailer a day ahead. So that's interesting. We know what's coming out. Welcome in, Chaos School. Good to see you. That's Chief Paranoid to Parker XGPS as well. Yeah, so there we go. We've got 4.7 coming. We've got the RSI Aurora coming. And I must admit, the trailer yesterday took me from, I don't know if I want this, to, holy cow, that's kind of cool. I'm sure you've all seen it, so let's watch it through once and let's pick out the major details as we go through. We'll also have a look at the teasers, the sneak peek stuff that we've seen that now almost certainly has come from the Aurora, and we'll also have a look at some of the, well, let's just do a comparison with some other starter ships. And let's see where we think this is going to sit in terms of price. And then we can all laugh at me when I get it wrong. So there we go. Yeah, Stacky, you've got to say hello, buddy, for me to say hello to you. And the last thing I've got on my chat is Monster Avi. Or the first message I have is, to me, the update is okay. So anything before that, I can't see it. But yes, so hello, Stacker. There you go. You feel better now? Do you feel better? So there we go. Let's, without... I almost did the ado thing. I'm not doing the ado thing. Let's take a quick look at the trailer.
It began with an idea. More than curiosity, more than a yearning.
The one thing that struck me when I first saw this was how far through the trailer you had to get before you saw the Aurora Mark Two.
That created Zeus, and first carried us into space.
The other thing that kind of struck about this was how hard they're basically apologizing for getting a Mark II. Because it's like, oh look, Zeus and Mark II. We're still not quite sure of our direction yet.
But by boundless possibility.
I mean, Perseus is a remake of an earlier ship, although we don't have them. Oh look, Meteor and Mantis. Apollo and Hermes.
And to carry that knowledge
Connie and multiple versions. It's almost like they're apologizing too hard for making multiple versions of a ship. It's like, guys, just own it. Like, we know what you're doing. Just
onward through great unknowns, ever connected to those wondrous first steps.
at 55 seconds, you reckon? Oh, I'm going to go with that. Welcome in. Is it Smitty? There we go. Landlag, good to see you. Grisal, let's see where. So this is 55 seconds. You reckon there's a galaxy? Let's have a look. Where do we think the galaxy is? We think that's it there, maybe. Is that what we're talking about? Surprised we didn't get a look at the Mark 5, Connie. I think that would have been a bit too much. Oh, what? This one here at the back there, is that it?
And so, as we move onward through great
That
unknowns,
was a little bit sneaky, wasn't it?
ever connected to those wondrous first steps that began.
Can we just, like, love it or hate the Aurora, love or hate what they're doing with the Mark Twos? Like, I get all of the impressions that people have. I understand the different viewpoints. I have to, however, ask you, or just make the point even, not even ask. I've got to make the point. Holy cow, how far their ship design has come. This was one of, as far as I can see, broadly speaking, this is one of two things. They either were playing such a long game that they knew this was going to happen from the beginning, so they designed some slightly older spindly ships, or, far more likely, in my opinion, giving CIG's questionable planning ability sometimes, this is just an incredible evolution by the ship design team, the art team, the feature team. They've done such a good job.
And our voyage so many
There you
years
go,
ago.
welcome in. Lucrative,
Each
and everyone else
evolution
I've
carries
missed.
us
Good
forward.
to see you all.
On our infinite adventure to tomorrow. And now, I believe the future is just about ready. Let's take a look, shall we?
So we are 3/4 of the way in, and we only now get a look at the Aurora. You have what appear to be missiles on the wings. You've got weapons here. And so remember this top section, because I think we're going to come back to that in notice. Basically, if you've seen the sneak peeks, that looks remarkably similar to the modules, or what we now think to be modules from the sneak peek. And at that point, when it went from Aurora to Ornithopter, I was like, yeah, all right, I quite like this. God damn it. And now I'm going to have to buy myself another ship. Yeah, really, really quite impressive.
Zeus to the Aurora and beyond.
Well, isn't that quite... I mean, I could have used that for the thumbnail, but there is so much going on in that image. I was like, I can't do that.
Roberts Space Industries. Delivery.
So yeah, she's sizable. So when we go to, there's other videos and stuff that I've seen as well, but when we go to this, just consider down here you've got the size of the pilot. I'm going to say that without the little jutty bits of the old Aurora, the little bits at the back, that looks to be almost double the length, I would guess. Certainly like one and a half times the size of the length of the old Aurora, and then width is really hard to judge that. I drank the Kool-Aid when the wings opens as landman. Yeah, 100%. JB Jeep, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Altrium, good to see you. Long time no see. Yeah. So with no modules, it looks shorter. So you reckon that's entirely modular? It doesn't just slot into the back. It's the whole thing that sits out at the end. Freezenon, welcome in, buddy. Yeah. So this looks Pafajira Guigos. I'm sorry again, mate, if I'm butchering that. Andy Benson, welcome in. Yeah, she's certainly bigger. Looks very, very interesting. And then what I'll do is I'll just bring this up as well. You've got the modules. So these very much look like they are this section here. Exactly the same color scheme, almost. And the one thing we found the other day, so one of these looks to be a cargo module. Yeah, 6SU cargo pod says Eltrium. That's definitely what it seems. There is another video flying around, and I think someone linked it in my Discord. So I'm going to see if I can go find that in just a moment. But there is definitely an image of a cargo thing coming up into this elevator below, and there are 3 1SCU pods, 2 wide. So 6 SCU in total. And then this bit here, as we did before, looks suspiciously like potentially some missile tubes, and then it looks like there's maybe a shield generator in the back. So yeah, there's been some really interesting developments on the Aurora front. I find that really quite interesting. I can't see it. I think someone might have removed it from chat, or I'm just being blind, one of the two. But there was definitely another video kicking around with that in. So yeah. I'm just trying to find it. It doesn't look like it's there, but we'll start hitting refresh when that comes up. But that's where we are. That's what it looks like. I've clicked the wrong one naturally. So yeah.
The Aurora and beyond.
Oh, I don't know it. There we go. And just the silhouette is so far advanced from the old Aurora, right? That's really quite something. As for the rest of it, it's really interesting to see them adding a pod which adds like another shield generator and some missiles. Much the same as the Firebird fires or Peregrine. I can never remember. It's the Firebird, right? The one that fires down. This one seems to fire up in very much the same style as the Connie. So that's quite nice. It's nice to see that the modules that they're adding add maybe a little bit more ship functionality rather than just being, hey, we've got a cargo and then we've got like a pod we can sit people in and then we've got like an extra bed pod or whatever. A little bit of ship functionality is another nice way to approach the modularity thing. Welcome in. So there's lots of people. Can welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. Captain Bandolero, hello, mate. Haven't seen you in a while. Tarol, and there's a couple more names in there that I've missed. Socially, good to see you, my friend. Loads of chat, and I'm going to really struggle keeping up, I can tell. Scorpius and the June Ornithopter had a baby, didn't they just? It's that outline, that, you can see the kind of, the Aurora would fit there in terms of cross-section. So this really hasn't gotten bigger. The interesting thing from my point of view is going to be seeing what they do with the old Aurora. I'd be very interested to know what they plan on doing with her, and what they've offered to... Is anyone an Aurora owner? Has anyone been offered... Is there an upgrade in the offing? Do you get some sort of deal? Or are they just like, hey, there's a new version. Looks cooler than yours. Womp womp. Yes. Yeah, Powerful Guegas, agree 100%, mate. That's why I started it now, is expecting it to be, released at 1600. That's when the trailer came out yesterday, so in about 15 minutes, we will play the F5 game when we get there. And the likelihood is, I have a couple of ships in my hangar that are sat there just to muck around. I've also got some store credit. So the chances are I will buy one as we watch on the other screen. No, you can't see all my details. and we'll go and have a look in the game. Fisher Break Room, welcome in, buddy. Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. It's 4.7. It's the Aurora Mark Two. And then in a couple of weeks, we're going to get the whole B, which is all very, very exciting. You sent me a link on Discord. Thank you very much, Can. I appreciate that. I should know better, shouldn't I, than to open up this. So yes, it was the RSI page, was there the video is. And of course, unfortunately, I can't pause this. But I have to say, the thruster placement, someone mentioned about the thruster placement, it might be struggling a little, was very interesting. It's probably also being DDoSed to absolute hell. But that's your 6 SCU cargo pod. That's your shield generator. And you can see at the top here, this bit's opening up as well. So it looks like exactly the other pod that we've seen. Doesn't seem to hint at any others. But as someone's already pointed out, the two modules do increase and decrease the size of the ship. So what it looks like we're going to get, because they've shown us the modules individually, this could not just be only a fully, kind of upgraded, very cool looking Ornithopter style ship. 2 missiles on each wing, or 2 missiles on the top wing. Did I see that right? That was 2 missiles on each wing, right? I agree with whoever said size 2s. I don't see it. That's Monster AV. Don't see it getting anything bigger than size 2s, to be honest. But I did just see on the wings there, and it looks like it's on, 2 missiles, not 1. Size 1s by the looks of things. Same sort of size as on the Pisces. Yeah, each wing took 2 size 1s, 100%. DT Bigley, welcome in, buddy. Keys, the pulse needs to stay standing up in it, or else it's not very useful. This is also true. So yeah, it's a very interesting looking ship, and I've got to say, I didn't ever consider myself to be an Aurora pilot in the game. As of this, I think I very well will be. That's a really interesting looking ship. And what's really quite interesting is I don't know if it was here or on one of the other, I think it was in our Discord, I saw the message saying that someone said that they never thought that the Avenger was going to be knocked off the top spot of starter ships. And they have looked at the Aurora and now have decided that they will knock the Avenger off the top spot. Looks better than the 315 pieces, Fishhead. Yeah, so I didn't get a chance to set this up because I've literally I've been working right up until now, and that I've got a little bit more work to do at the end of this to make sure that I keep my hours today. But what I kind of wanted to do was set up a quick ship comparison of beginner ships, right? And have a look. The one comparison I think I would make right now, in terms of trying to figure out price, is the Intrepid. Okay, so functional interior, cargo pod on the back. That's obviously got size 4, and there's not a lot of parity in the armament loadout. But obviously, the Intrepid carries more, has that dedicated engineering station, which it looks like we have with this as well. So if I just bring that one back up, I've got some random images in here. This was from the stream the other day, but this looks to be the new Aurora interior. And what you can see on the left-hand side here very much looks like an engineering console, right? So this has an engineering console in as a starter, which is one of the Intrepid's selling points. So I would guess this slightly lower cargo capacity. I'm going to suggest that its normal price is going to be probably, $5, $10 cheaper than the Intrepid. So 55, 60 area. And then who knows with Warbond. It normally only kind of $10 at that price range, right? So that would be my guess. I think we're going to see $45 to $50 Warbond, $55 to $60 price for the ship. I'm happy to be corrected on that, but that's going to be my guess. Whether they include modules, yeah, that's a really interesting thing, is what they're going to do with the modules. Does that mean we get, do they sell them as 2 different versions with the modules? Do they do what they did with the Hermes or with the Apollo, which is they sell it and you get the modules for a permanent time? So there we go. End of the $45 game package. We still have the Mustang Nova, which I think is in that price range, right? So there's all that sort of stuff. But yeah, lots of interesting stuff going on here. Andy Benson, big question for me is about the modules. I want an all module package plus game package. So yeah, everything. So you're the Aurora, both modules and the game package, right? Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where they go. I'm quite looking forward to starting the F5 wars. In the meantime, if one of you guys spot it, just yell in chat and we will jump straight over. And I've just realised I probably need to. Well, in fact, no, I've got the page up now, haven't I? So we are all good. But a good-looking ship, and I think we're just about to come out of the cargo bit, which you'll see on the back. You'll see 1, 2, 3, and then the same row the next side. So 6 SCU cargo pod as well. It's going to make it a very versatile little ship. This is, I think, very likely to become, unless there's something glaringly wrong with it, I think this is going to potentially pip the Avenger. Because what's the Avenger's SCU? Someone remind me, the Titan. What's its SCU? Someone posted an isolated video in the Discord. Did they indeed? Let's have a look. Thank you if you have done. That's really, really useful. Here we go. Tissue not included. Thank you, mate. Let's have a quick look at that. I'm just going to pop that onto full screen. Or am I? Is there a way to pop that out? Because I kind of don't want to put Discord on the screen. But yes, I mean, we've got the ability to pause, but we're about to see it anyway. And like I said, as long as it's not in a crazy point in terms of price and that, likelihood is I'll upgrade it. I've got my hanger up on the other screen, and I will go straight into, the game and show you guys. And we'll see what we think. I'm in my hanger. I am unfortunately dressed. shall we say, um, because Notorious asked me to do something in game, and I had to be. Do you know what? There is. Hold on, hold up. Wait a minute. It's the. Here it comes. I know you're going to laugh at this, and this is why I tell you. All right. I might be wearing Star Kit and armor in the game right now. I might be wearing Star Kit and armor, and I'm going to hate myself forever. But I completely forgot to take it off. I'm just exactly that single track. That's exactly what's going on. God, I hate you lot. There we go. So when are we getting this? Outpost Actual. This is in the next 7 minutes. We think. Normally when they do these releases now, the ships release at 1600 UK time. So there we go. Sinister J, I will do, my friend. We'll get you in just a short amount of time. But welcome in to everyone that's come in. 61 is big for an afternoon stream for me. So glad to see you all. No, I did put it on. I was about to say, because Notorious was asking me to do some things in game, and that just makes it so much worse. It makes it sound even worse than it was at the beginning. So yeah, I'm not gonna say, oh shit, no, I did say that. So there we go. I could maybe put a surprise trunk Copian in there in a hover bike. Yeah, surprise Copian. Exactly that. Guard dog. Star Kitten is standard for the Navy. I'm not answering that. I'm not answering that at all. Those rumours were never substantiated. But there we go. I've got an Alt 0 to Hero account that has an Aurora LN. I'll probably upgrade it today, says Jock Cup. Given the millions of accounts out there with an Aurora, CIG could make some serious money today. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether Aurora owners get some sort of deal to upgrade. Now, the reason I say that, people go, well, they don't do that, and you're right. With like the Hornet and the Hornet Mark Two, I just think it would be interesting to see whether or not what CIG's takeaway was from that. If they've decided they needed to learn any lessons, then whether or not they've decided to go, actually, we're going to do something slightly different for the people who own it. Because I'm not going to lie, there is no comparison now. Unless you have a specifically retro aesthetic, or the Aurora is your bag, that particular visual design, I don't see much of a reason now to stick with the old one. So, yeah, there we go. Notorious saying Badgers put the Star Kit in on, or it gets the fire extinguisher again. That's not too far from the truth. I did wake up a number of times in the Art Court Medical Centre. And that's all I'm saying on the matter. Brian Havoc says, off to work meetings. Have a good... Oh, sorry to hear that, mate. And yeah, thank you for popping in, buddy. Good to see you. Socially confused. I have a Star Kit armor and pulse paint for when Bounty Hunter 2.0 arrives. I want my targets to feel shame being captured by me. That's just sadistic. That's evil. Evil. So there we go. We're not expecting any PTU builds as we warm up the 4.0 environment for potential live release later today. Yes, and it actually said in the comlink, so I'll just jump to that very, very quickly before we go anywhere else. So, and I know this is always subject to change, but this week in Star Citizen... Oh, hang on. Oh, it's just linking me back to the page that I was on. I did a full loop then and didn't mean to. That was fun. So it does say here, Alpha 4.7. I'm just going to zoom in. Wednesday is set to be packed with Alpha 4.7 aiming to go live. So yeah, that was the intent. Do you know what? We'll just keep that zoomed in, shall we? And we'll go back to this page, and then we'll engage in the F5 wars. I'll just give your eyes a break from the constantly recurring video, pop us back onto this, and then I promise I will hit F5 periodically. If you see it before I do, then that's cool. You can do that as well. Keep a note. Sorry, I read that bit out. Lucrative says, I've been looking for a ship to upgrade my cast referral Dragonfly to, so this might be it for me. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Like I've said before with this, the starter market, there's actually quite a bit that sits there. You've got the Mustang, was the 315 was in one of the starter packs? Was it one of the 325? One of those two. You've got the Intrepid, you've got the Avenger. There are a lot of ships that sit at that low level, and it's going to be interesting. Given the fact that this is modular and none of the other starter ships are, what is the base price and what do you get for that? What modules, if any, are included? Are the modules just an update. It'll be really, really interesting. I'd love to see an in-game museum of the evolution of ships over 100 years, even if all don't fly, says DT Pigley. And I'm sure they'll do that. And actually, they're kind of setting themselves up for that quite nicely. Because, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, just their design, right? You could have an in-game museum which covers their design history. So an in-game monument to the people who built the ships and going, look, this is the first Hornet, this was the first this was the first that. You know, all that sort of stuff would be really cool in game as an Easter egg for the developers, right? You're not going to get massive footfall from the backers who've never been there all the way through it. We'll probably go once or twice, right? But that's it. Something like that would be really cool. Jabba says, did you notice how the rocket tubes pop up while looking from behind? Yes. So if we go back to, I'm just going to go and do this again. So just transition across. So you can see just here, it's cracked ever so slightly in the image. And you can see what appears to be the missile tubes there. So there you go. Crafting is a possibility. Yeah, I mean, it would be an interesting way to do it, but there is a possibility where you could have the console somewhere else on this, and then you load stuff in from the back like you load in the side of the fabricator. I don't think with the way the wings are, it would work being the same, like, 2 or whatever it is, SCU wide fabricator that we have at the moment. It'd have to be something else, but that's not to say they can't do something bespoke, right? You could do some very cool things with it. We'll have to see. It's RSI, that's why I'm there, Sabrin. Yeah, absolutely. We must ask, why is the Bengal in the trailer? Is it Heritage Shelf or Start something? I think it's the RSI lineup. I don't think it's that. In the same way that the Connie's in there, right? Old man Hurston is about to buy like 5 Auroras soon. Is he? Bless him. I'm sure he is as well. I'm sure he is. But yeah, that would make a lot of sense to me. So I guess we're just going to spam the hell out of this now and wait for the change. We're about where it should be. I mean, I guess we could go through to comlinks. Is this the store page and it's just like placeholder or not? No, this is just a transmission. Okay. This would be a really anticlimactic if we got here and they didn't release it and they were like, it's like, but there we go. Malembi, funnily enough, you're not the first person to say that. It is in the trailer. We can go back there in just a moment, but given the fact that we're about to change over, like I said, we're going to do this, and then I'm likely going to pick one up, and I will take that over to the. Sorry, I'm just going to mute this. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to take us into the verse. We'll have a look at the ship, see what we think, and then we'll come back and have a look at the other details that we may have missed. But yeah, I would imagine they're just getting spammed with people trying to refresh it, right? I suppose while we're here, we could always have a look at the pledge store and load up some of the starter packs. And of course, the beautiful thing about, I say the beautiful thing, people will go, it's just more money and microtransactions. Yeah, but they'll release it in game, right? Is that modules are so much easier to add later on down the line than it is for a full variant of a ship, and that's one of the designs of doing this. Yes, there is a behind the ships coming as well, isn't there? Interesting. So I haven't got a patch update as well. This would be really anticlimactic if we got there and it wasn't. Yeah, that would be a bit pants. Okay, so just while we're waiting then, let's have a look. So the 55-second mark. So let's have a quick look. The volume's all the way down, so don't worry about that. So that's what we think is the Galaxy, right? Is that one there? Is it? Is it though? Is it that one or that one? What do we think is the Galaxy? That one, right? Yeah, I'd buy that. I'd buy that. because looking from there, it was a little bit like that might just be a Polaris, but actually, because I'm functionally blind, as you can tell, as I get a little bit closer, I'm going, yeah, no, I get that, because it's the Polaris pods actually look like they go forward, right? If that's the front, they actually look like they come up and do that, whereas that is very clearly a V shape, an inverted V shape. So that's kind of cool. That's interesting. If they spook this and release the Galaxy instead, said Honey Spring, yeah, I mean, possibly, but also hopefully not, right? So yeah, there we go. So interesting. Could be the Percy. That's not the Perseus. That's not the Perseus. There is a Perseus in here somewhere, and that's not it. I think that's the Perseus there, but they're clearly two very distinct silhouettes. That might be the Connie actually, but yeah, they do have Perseuses in it, or Persei in it. But yeah, there's just no comparison between that and the other one, right? There just isn't. There's nothing. One clearly does not compete with the other. I'm going to pop that there and see if that's going to stay put now. Can you just stop it? There we go. Ta-da! Right, so whilst that's happening, let's see. Just keep spamming F5. Fishhead, the concept sale, no. So they've got one concept coming. There's one concept left for them to sell, and that's coming at ILW in May, and we know what that is. That's the Battle Cruiser. That's the bigger than the Javelin Destroyer. So expect somewhere in the region of $4,000 or $5,000 as a minimum. And if you're not familiar to Star Citizen so much, welcome in. Good to see you. Yes, we talk about these terms when we're talking about ships in game. So there we go. Promising thing is the Galaxy is supposed to get released this fall, and it seems quite far along. Yes, they actually said that it was going to be, and this was at the last IEE, that it would headline this IEE will be the Galaxy. I'm feeling Whaley, yeah, absolutely. Do you think they're releasing a final Mark 1 variant too, says Cryas? No, I think they're done with the Mark 1s. Would be my guess. I'm hopeful for the Galaxy gets one outstanding ship off my list. It will be. Yeah, IEE 100%. It's going to be that. Oh, there was a... Do you know when you're pressing the F5 wars and every so often it just like... It takes a moment to think about it and is like, maybe I'm loading new data, but I'm not really. It's just... I'm just going to give you nothing at all. I'm still staring at the Stellar Fortuna thing. Yeah, normally when I do this, I aim for 3 o'clock, because 3:30, because 4 o'clock, it changes over. It's not changing over. CIG have done us dirty, it seems. Absolute monsters. Ah, dear, you toy with us. CIG, you toy with us. And I don't know how to feel about that. What we'll do potentially is, I guess, what do you guys want to do? Right? Give me two choices. Right? Number 1 is about the ship's YouTube episode. Number 2 is the store page. So what are we doing? Are we doing the video first and then the store page, or are we doing the store page and then the video? If you want to start with the store page, give me 1. If you want to start, oh God, I've mucked it up. No, stop. If you want to start with a video, 1. If you want to start with the store page, 2. Video 1, store page 2, what do you want to do? And I'll go with the modularity. Video, so socially, Chinese first. So 1, show off your bike collection. Wait, what? Yeah, exactly that. Interesting. I'm going down the side. So 1. So lots of people saying to go with the video first. Great. Okie doke. And then we will jump into the store page as quickly as we can, but we'll watch the video through. We'll just watch it through. I won't pause it, so we get to the store page nice and quick. Okay, and then we'll look at the store page, and then we'll go back. If there's details that we want to look at in that video, we can go back and have a look. So, yeah. We'll go and have a look and see what we think. And of course, on top of all of this, 4.7 potentially coming, although there's no guarantee that it will be coming at the same time. Yeah, we want the CIG propaganda versus socially. I don't. I none of this surprises me, not even a little bit. So yeah, they're really making us. They're really dragging this one out. Like Jesus, CIG, why are you doing this to me? Okay. So whilst we're doing that, then very quickly, someone please do the auto refresh stuff for us. Okay, and we'll have a look at the game packages and starter ship so we can try and figure out roughly where we think this ship fits in the grand scheme of things. We'll ignore the stuff with Warbond because that's not representative of the final price of the ship. So we're looking down here somewhere, and my feeling is that the Aurora is going to sit somewhere around here. At the Intrepid level. Is that my feeling? Not necessarily the price, but the Intrepid level feels about right. There's not much else in there that's kind of comparison. It clearly now outclasses the Mustang. It clearly outclasses the Pisces. And to my mind, although I'm willing to be told differently on this, it clearly outclasses the Cutter as well. No cheaper than the Intrepid, you reckon, single? I think the Intrepid, the difference between the two for me is mainly aesthetic. And obviously the fact that the Intrepid's not modular, but then again, it doesn't really need to be, does it? That's an Intrepid and Sula. Yeah, I think it's going to sit possibly somewhere around the Golem price, non-warband. Yeah, and we had that prediction earlier, so I reckoned $5 to $10 cheaper than the Intrepid by itself, so somewhere around the $55 to $60 mark, which would mean in my head that's somewhere between $45 to $50 Warbond is my guess. And when I get it wrong, you can all laugh at me. Minty Fizz, welcome in, buddy. So yeah, it's possible that they may want 4.7 to go live. A message of the day is we're currently expecting yes. So that's where we are. Luna, welcome in. Good to see you. I was hoping we'd see you. This is obviously kind of very close to your thing. I think I pinged you on Discord, but what are your thoughts on the Aurora as an Aurora pilot in chat? It has to not go over the Nomad, the Intrepid. They are nicer amenities. So yeah, I don't think it's going to go over the Nomad, certainly. I think it's going to be somewhere in that vein. It might be in that vein, but we'll see. Melzy, welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, I think this is where it's going to sit in terms of ships. We can go and have a look at the ship page as well, because they are really not happy with the idea of telling us. Come on, where is it? Where's the ship, God damn it? They are just toying with us at this point, aren't they? Just toying with us. Oh, I keep doing I'm really sorry. So I keep doing that, and I shouldn't. I should do that instead. So I should be on the screen. Hello. It's because I had the wrong one set up, and at glance it looks like the same frame. It's just got me in it. So there we go. Now you don't have to miss my face. That's exciting for you. But yes, whilst we are on the copium front, that's the empty bottle that I had down there. By the seat, I've got my work laptop set up in the space that I would normally do drinks and stuff. So, yeah, oops, my bad. So, and I don't want to spill the liquid copium that I'm drinking at the minute all over my work laptop. So, you know, and I'm sorry, I'm bad, but I don't have a dishwasher, and washing up glass is just such a pain in the ass. So, seeing as I live on my own and no one else gets my cooties, I'm just going to drink out of the bottle, and you will get to watch. So there. CID trolling all the streamers by choosing random times to launch. That is precisely what the hell is going on. Diet drinks bring me sadness. Do you know what brings me sadness more? The size of this down here, the belly. I was pointing at my belly. Don't be rude. That doesn't bring me sadness. My belly brings me sadness, right? So the diet is just going to be that. And do you know what? The other thing is when you go back to full fat, Coke? No. No. Once you've been on diet stuff or sugar-free stuff, it just furs your teeth up. Something horrible. So there we go. I am both scared and aroused, says Chaos Score. Yeah, sorry. There's that. My wallet is ready. I think it'll be the same price as the Titan. Interesting. Yeah, so, I mean, we could go into very quickly. Right, I'm just going to take us off. Just for a moment. Because as much as I love you guys, I don't trust you anywhere near my account page. Nor should I. So I'm just going to go bring up the ship upgrades page and we'll have a look at where the prices sit. Okay. So let's have a look. Let's find the first of the. It's the. Which one's the starter ship? Is the Mustang Delta, right? Is that right? Mustang Delta? Or Mustang Beta? Someone. Mustang Alpha? I don't know. Starter ship. Would you trust me with your credit card? No, Hellwinter, not as far as 3. Luna, very happy with the Mark Two trailer as the dragonfly wings and looks fantastic. I'll definitely buy one. Yeah, the ornithopter bit was like, that was very, very cool. So there we go. Funding Tracker's going to like it either way. Do you know what? When I first heard that the Aurora, and you guys will have seen me said this on stream. If you watch the stream, by the way, I stream every Sunday 9 p.m. UK time. Then yeah, you will have heard me said, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to do that well. It's going to be some money, but I don't think it's going to do particularly well. And of course, instantly, CIG proved me wrong by releasing that trailer and that damn ship. So there we go. Incoming raid. Noob is talking about on Twitch, is he? Oh, Noob, good to see you, buddy. If anyone is looking for a very good Twitch channel in which to watch Star Citizen stuff, I can wholly recommend Noob. He is the, apart from Infra Runners, obviously I spent some time with them, Noob is the only Twitch streamer that I talk about, because if you weren't here for CitizenCon Direct, we sat in these very seats, this one and one next to me, we got very, very drunk and babbled like complete idiots whilst trying to watch CitizenCon, because I came up with the most effective drinking game, drinking word bingo titles ever. So that was kind of cool. And yeah, Noob and I, awesome meeting him, absolutely lovely bloke. We had a blast. We had an absolute blast, and you know, I'm really hoping that I get to go and see him there. So I'm very much expecting, and I'm going to die on this hill. I'm really hoping it's coming soon, as opposed to a little later on. I mean, we need to do SC Bingo again. No, I will create a drinking game that you guys can do. But so I'm gonna say a couple things about that. The sockening still needs to happen. I said no nicks, and I'm sure Widget will be very pleased to hear that I said I would eat something that I shouldn't if Nix got released. I was expecting it. What I was talking about was a full system, but I said no Nix this year, and there was Nix. So I need to eat something I shouldn't. So it will probably, because I can't find edible socks, they're just not a thing, unsurprisingly enough. I guess I'm going to need to buy an edible thong from Ann Summers and eat that on stream. So I will warn you, so you don't have to watch that, because no one needs to see that, apart from Widget, apparently. So yes, just so you're aware. But yeah, we don't need a reason to drink. No, eat something that can be digested. Words to live by, my friend. If you can't digest it, don't put it in your mouth. I'm going to stop talking now, because I'm just not doing myself any favours. But that is Noob's Twitch channel in chat. Link, go hang out. He does community games. Loads of fun and hilarity over there. Really good bunch of guys. And Noob is just an absolutely top bloke. Really, really friendly. So there we go. That'll be disturbing to watch. It will, which is why I'm warning you. Carby Deej, welcome in. I'm rather hopeful for Nix with Nix 1 for 4.8. So it doesn't seem that crazy, Carby, and she'll tell you for why. They have 3 planets to go. This is the March patch that's just about to be released. So we have May, July, September, and November. So we can only have 2 more patches without planets unless somehow they manage to release 2 at the same time. Which is possible, given the fact that one of them is a gas giant and therefore has no physical locations for us to explore. But I'd imagine they might want to try and do with something with crush depth on that, and maybe just advance it and actually have that. If you go too close, your ship starts taking damage. But yeah, they added more spawn points in Levski in this patch. At least they did indeed. I saw that when I logged in. That was very, very cool. Edible, digestible. I mean, that. You're damn straight. I'm going to watch that, says Jock Cop. This does not surprise me, sir. Not in the slightest. So there we go. UTV is a very good candidate LTI token. There's a lot of those coming out as well. I recommend making a sock-shaped baked good with white icing. I hear you, Luna. The only problem I have with that is that I'm over... my oven isn't that good. So I struggle making things. Hey, noob! Speak of the devil! The guys told me we were talking about you, so I said hi, and I've told everyone about you. But welcome in, noobs in chat. Give them some love. Good to see you, buddy. How are you finding it? I did all this expecting them to go live at 4 o'clock with the ship, and they didn't. So I'm just gonna scroll down and have a look at basically where I think this is going to be. And please, mate, feel free to chime in as well if you've got any thoughts, and of course everyone else as well. But I definitely don't see it at these levels. I mean, this is a very kind of very congested area of the game. This is pretty rammed. Avenger Stalker at 60. Avenger Titan at 60. 300i at 60. So, yeah. $65 plus, says Edison. Lighthawk, welcome in. So, yeah. So where does the Intrepid sit then? Intrepid sits at 65. So they've literally got no room whatsoever. Maybe it's the same price then. Maybe it'll be another Intrepid. Don't know. I don't think it's going to sit up on Sulian because of alien tax. So maybe it does. Maybe it sits at $65 to $70. Just knock $10 off for a war bond, basically. Would be my rule of thumb here. They might do as low as $5 for the war bond, but I don't think you're going to get much more than that. And the modularity tax. Well, this is what makes this calculation so hard. Is that does it get all the modules? Do the modules come separate? Do you get a base version without modules? Like, because that's just a Mustang at that point, right? It's going to be really, really interesting. Yeah, I mean, they might end up doing what they did with, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? The Apollo. That might be a thing as well. So it's going to be really interesting. But yeah, so are you expecting the same? No dice. It's rough. It's rough. So there we go. What about the oven in New Place? Chief Paranoid, I'm sure that's working fine. Really looking forward to having an oven that's a little bit more reliable. The thing is, you can go to the landlord and stuff, but it's just so much faff. And I'm not here quite a lot of the time, and I just don't like the idea of people being in the house when I'm not. It's just a living on your own thing, I think. But there we go. Modular tax, yep, there's alien tax for the Sulen. It's interesting. I really don't know where they're going to go. Cheap game package price as Eltrim, but no modules. And that's it, right? You've got so many choices. You've got with one module, so you have 2 versions. You buy it with different modules. You buy it and you get the modules for free. You buy it and you have to buy each individual module separate. And each of those changes the calculation. So there's just so many versions that you can do with this. I mean, yeah. If we can get it to 80 to 100 war bond with the modules, it'd be the best starter pack value-wise. That's as a game pack, you mean, noob, right? Wolfman, welcome in. Sorry, I did see you earlier, and then I forgot to say hello, so welcome in. Might just be the base ship with modules as add-ons, very possibly. Now, one thing I will say is, with a few exceptions, notably, recently, we've had some really, really cheaply priced ships. Right? before anyone jumps on me, we've had comparatively cheaply priced ships, right? They've not all been, you know, cheap is a relative term when you come to Star Citizen. But we had the Golem and the Salvation came out very, very cheaply. I don't think anyone expected the Prowler Utility to come out quite as cheap as they did. Having the Apollo, just giving the modules to all the Apollo owners, was a really nice touch. And with all of that stuff, I'm kind of hopeful that the modules might be included. So yeah. They've done great things with the price of things recently, says Daily Noob. Absolutely that. Like a basic cheap one and maybe a premium pack. I'm hoping that they'll. What did they do with the Apollo Nova? So when you got the Apollo, all the modules just came with it. So you've got tier 1, 2, and 3 medical bays for each side of the Apollo. And they were like, hey, there's modules, you'll be able to buy them in game, but the owners just get all of them for free. So that was kind of cool. Or at least it was what we would expect, which is don't fleece people that have already spent $275 on a warship, on a spaceship, for more for the modules to fill that spaceship. And that was a good shout. There would be rock stars if they start a game pack Aurora same price as the old one. Yeah, I appreciate where you're going with that. That would be a lovely gesture. I think there's no chance, but yes, I see where you're coming from. The spare modules might also justify it being closer to Nomad price if they're included, says Can. Yeah, 100%. I wish the Apollo was its original length. It got bigger, didn't it, socially? Was that right? Weren't there a few modules for the Apollo, more or less an apology for not having the promised drones? Very possibly, yeah. That rings a bell, Malsey. That does ring a bell. But it would be nice if now they've set that precedent to just keep going with it. As cool as it would be, but closer they stay to 50, the happier people will be. Yeah, I think slightly higher and including the modules will be better than selling it lower and then going, because people will just go, well, yeah, they kept it close to $50, but then the modules are like $10 each, so actually you're talking $70 anyway, and without the modules, what use is it? So yeah, got fatter and longer. Yeah. Yeah, Chief Paranoid Officer says they were for lack of drones. So yes, as medical gameplay works at the moment, they see no place for medical recovery drones. Now, when the Apollo Medevac first came out, they started talking about the idea of the drones being used for like the recovery of ejected pilots in combat, that sort of stuff. They've obviously changed from that now. Now, in my head, it worked, right? Because the idea would be that the drone would be the engine and control module on the back, and then just like a fork system. And then what you'd have on it is you'd have a detachable bed. When it found a pilot, it would go to them, attach them to the bed, create an air shield over them, and bring them back to the ship. And what would have been really cool, and would have explained that large lobby area, is if the drones came in under the ship, came up through there, and then the bed detached. So you used the bed, like you would do any other trolley, as some sort of levitating, like, anti-grav bed, and then you just move them in, and they become the tops of the beds. So they just click in. So this whole idea of having to drag casualties around on the floor, and then kind of just, like, tractor beam them into bunks, or into medical beds, is so unmedical it's untrue. Whereas that was like, hey, the player comes up, I grab hold of it, I move it over to the bed, I click attach, when the option comes up, it attaches to the bed, and then all the apparatus comes over the top. That to me made a lot of sense, and that's how I thought they were going to do the medevac. Not so much. I honestly can't believe how nice the Mark II is looks-wise. I've seen it and needed it. I don't have a starship in my fleet, to be honest. It may be the one. Yeah, so I've got an Intrepid at the moment. The Aurora Thopter. Well, there you go. That's what it is now. Void Tiger says, I'm thinking $60 and 2 versions with a module sold like the Wolf guns were. Yeah. See, that's the other point. That's a really good point you bring up, Void Tiger, is the other side of this is, whilst they have done some really cool things with the price and kept them down in some ways, there was the Alpha Wolf conversation of that. And that wasn't so good. So I guess we'll find out when it happens. The OG Apollo concept said it included the modular vehicle base. The drones just left the chat. Yeah. Oh, modular medical bays. The drones just left the chat. Yes. So, yeah. At the moment, they said they will go back and revisit it, and they've left space should it be required. But at the moment, there is no intention for drones. 6:30 coming up here. So King says single track. I mean, yeah. So I've got RSI, and I'm hitting F5 every so often. Maybe what I'll do is if I do YouTube as well, and I just keep switching between the two, that works, right? Hopefully it doesn't impact performance too much, but yeah. There we go. We've already got a video up from someone about 4.7 point patch. But holy cow. If they don't drop in 3 minutes, I think Badgers should go for a marathon stream until they do. No, I got work to do, bud. I've taken this pause, but I'm going back to work. So, yeah, hopefully it's not too late, because I don't want to be working at 8 o'clock tonight. That would be rubbish. Red Samurai, hello, bud. No longer so good to see you. Good to move near to you, working with some Air Force rough. Red Samurai, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Nobody likes working with crab fats. They're just a weird breed. But yeah, glad you moved down here. In completely unrelated news, nothing to do with you moving close, but I am moving away shortly. I'm glad you're down here. It's just a shame you're working with them. Let's focus on the positive. Mark Two Aurora looks spiffy. Absolutely. Do you think it'll be interceptor tune? No, I don't think. Not at that price point. No drones doesn't bode well for my sweetheart, the Vulcan. So no, it wasn't that there are no drones. It's that medical gameplay and drones don't marry up in their current vision. It was more about medical gameplay than it was about drones. It's that they don't believe drones have any place in medical gameplay, not that drones don't have a place. So the Vulcan is still very much going to be drone based, as far as we're aware. What are we waiting for? I was AFK. We're waiting for CIG to pull their fingers out and actually release it, Luna. So, unfortunate, but there you go. I'm telling you, CIG has a spy in chat. The minute Badgers ends the stream, the ship will get released, and there'll be ship news and all that. Yeah, so that basically I'll end the stream, and then I'll have to put another one straight back up. Oh, dear. I don't know. I just... Yeah, that. I'm still seeing nothing. I guess hurry up and wait is the name of the game. So yeah. So Cheese 9144, welcome in. Can you please tell me what ship being modular means? So basically, if you want, for example, a cutty, let's make this easier. If you want a salvage ship, you go for a Vulture. If you want a refining ship, you go for the Expanse, right? What a modular ship does is it uses the same chassis, and rather than you having to change the entire ship out, i.e. buy two ships, what a module does is it effectively adds a section, and you can switch it out and switch it back in. For example, let's put it in PC terms. Non-modular is your PC is custom built like a laptop. You don't go switching out individual components apart from basic things like hard drives, weapons in a ship, right? On a PC is modular. So if you want to change your graphics card, you just change the graphics card. You don't have to buy the whole new ship. You just open it up, take the bit out that you don't want, put the bit in that you do want, and go from there. They are that. And as an example of this, they have what we now is almost certain to be two of the Aurora modules are these things. So you can see on this, you've got all the connecting bits at the top here, or at the front. So these will, the side we're looking at will be the front of the module. So you're looking at it at that angle. Yeah, it will click in like that. Connect, and we have this one, which we believe to be the cargo module. Yeah, you got the warning stripe down here, which is a top tip that this is going to descend, put the cargo on. This one here will have a shield generator in the back, out of sight on the back panel. And you can also see just here, you've got what appear to be tubes of missiles. So that will actually open up. And there is an example of it doing that in the video. So if we go back to the trailer, just because, It's not like we're doing anything else at this point, is it? Eh? That's what we'll have a look at. So bear with me just 2 seconds. Click. I'll tell you what. I'll transition off this, so you don't have to watch me fumble around the screen to find the shiny, right? Do. So this is going to load up again. I'm going to transition over, and we're going to go. What we'll do is we'll go straight to the end, and I'll show you the bits that we're talking about. So looks like we're getting 2 modules. Yep. So you've got the top of this here. You can see the color. Okay. And then you've got that. Yep. So very much matching in color. Oh, didn't want to do that. Very much matching in color. Very much matching in the small white accents. Yeah. And then what you'll see in a moment is you'll see the back of it kind of. Up in one of them, I think. It might be this one, it might be the other one. I think it's the other video, right? Yeah. So, going back to the other video. So you'll have to excuse us because there's text on the screen, but what you're going to see up here, it's really cool that they've kept that in as well. But what you'll see here is you'll see the shield generate at the back, and you'll start to see the bit raise up at the top. So this is the cargo module. You can see with the same hazard marking down the side that we talked about. And there's the top of the missile module, and the back opens up for an extra shield generator. So that will be the combat variant module. Yeah. So whereas before with the Auroras, if you wanted the cargo version of the Aurora and the slightly more tanky fighty version of the Aurora, you bought 2 ships. So there. No problems, Ray. Sorry that it didn't happen, mate. I was really hoping that we would have this by now. I'm going to be a little bit more careful about. There we go. Cheese. Very good question, my friend. I don't know. We don't know because they haven't done that yet. We haven't had modular ships in game quite yet to switch out. Now there are modular ships in game, but what happens is you put them away. You go into your ship manager in your Moby class, your in-game menu. You switch out the modules on there, and then you call the ship back up. Thinking, for example, the Apollo medical modules. And it all happens magically, and your ship just comes up with new modules in it. This one looks very much like we are intending to do that on the smaller modules manually. And that's kind of cool. So the question is, Eltrim is like, are they like components? So do we go in, unlock the components, come back out and just tractor beam it out and just lift it out? Is there something more involved? Do we have to physically attach parts of it? Given the fact that in that picture, right, there are very clearly kind of couplings and things down here and, bits that are supposed to connect with each other and all that sort of stuff. Do we need to do anything to manually activate this? So it's okay, so we know that there'll be modular and we switch the modules out, but what's the actual series? What's the button press? Is it just like removing a gun or a missile, or is there something more involved in it? And I'm hoping it'll be something slightly more involved. Not too involved, just enough to make you feel like you're actually adjusting the physicality of your ship. That'd be cool. Is it possible no ship until after 4.7 deploys? I mean, possibly. I hope not, but possibly. If you can money change. So what's really interesting is, did we see the actual physical modules for the Retaliator? I don't think we can call them up, right? They sit in your hangar. Can you call the modules up themselves? It's interesting how there's new commercials, says Carbidege, uses all in-game assets and the universe to travel where the original commercial can only use fake things. Shows how far we've come. 100%. Red Samurai, thoughts on CitizenCon being in Manchester again this year? Do you know what? I'm feeling a little bit brave. I think we will get a CitizenCon online. I think we'll get, and this is where it starts to get a little bit tinfoil hatty, and I'm just going to, give me 2 seconds, I'm going to drink some hopium just to, you know. That's an Archer reference for anyone that doesn't get that. I think we're going to get a squadron con. I think it'll be a squadron release event in person. Hoping, and I'm hoping that's at Manchester, because oh my god, I would rip their arms off at the elbow for that. So that's what I'm hoping, Red. And if so, of course, if people can go to that, we'll organise, we'll coordinate where we're staying, just like we did with CitizenCon. If people want to come along with people to hang out with, that's fine. If you just want to come up and be like, hey, at least there's some people I can go and hang out with if I want to, but I'm going to do my own stuff, that's fine too. But we'll give that a go. I prefer online cons nowadays. I think part of the reason we saw so much progress last year was because they did an online one. I love the idea of I love going to physical citizen cons. I think they have other priorities right now. We get many skins. I'm going to go with 5 or 6, cheese. 5 or 6, I reckon. There we go. Not sure if they're physicalized entirely, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure either, Ultrim. The Apollo uses modules, have to drop down in Hangar to change things out. Exactly. So yes, so that's what I'm thinking. This tells me that I think this is going to be the first of actual switching modules out in game. Or if not, it's coming pretty soon. Maybe a point patch, right? So that'll be it. We'll get the video and they'll be like, hey, module switching, yeah, point patch. God damn it. Disco Lando skin. If the module's physical, someone will steal them 100%. Yeah, that's it. Someone's going to do a rip-roaring trade in Aurora modules, and that's what makes me think that they might just be free. Or part of what makes me hope that they might be free. So there we go. CIG they've done me over, noob. They've really screwed me over. I don't know what I'm doing now. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I even doing here? Who are you? Where am I? What's going on? Lock your ports and protect your modules. Yeah, absolutely. Most people don't know how to unlock their ports, and that's probably a good thing because then you can't have your modules stolen. So that's a win. But yeah, let's just pop back to I do want to. There's something I keep meaning to do, and I didn't do it very well the first time round. Just in terms of, do you know what? In fact, let's do this. Let's do a little bit of audience participation. This is always fun. This never goes wrong, ever, does it? Let's go through and have a little bit of a look. Let's grab, transition here. Let's grab all of the starters that we want to have a look at and then put them on a compare. So what do we say? 315p was one of the. It's not a starter anymore. It's not one of the packages, but maybe we can have a look at the same sort of level. What else we got in here? Some shout out. What starter ships do we have in here? They're going to be around about the same price point as the Aurora Mark Two that we can pop in. 300i is it's the 300i, is it? I didn't think we'd seen it on that. But okay, we'll pop the 300i in as well. We can do that. Titan, yeah. I think the cutty range, or the cutter, sorry, yeah, we'll head to the end. It's in a pack. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it out. If it's just a pack, then it's not really. If we're doing the purpose of comparing price, a pack's kind of missing the point. Which one of the Mustangs was it? Alpha, right? Was it the Delta? Delta? Hey, Pilgrim, welcome in, buddy. I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll on, and then someone's going to go, oh yeah, it's that one. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of ships that are going to be in its current kind of. I don't think it was the beta, was it? I'll just go with the Delta for now. Delta looks about right. Suliana's alien tax, it really, really does. Potentially offset by modular tax for this thing. Yeah, Sulen's a little bit further across. I'm having a quick scan just to see whatever is in what we think will be the Aurora's sort of price range area. Similar roles or similar kind of starter, I guess they call it the soloist gameplay stuff. Um, let's have a look. Still none, Rusty. No. That's why I'm going through this at the minute, and we'll have a comparison and see what we'll think. Nothing else in those jumping out. I don't think those are in a pack at the moment. Bum, bum, bum. Oh. When you think, like, when we go back to how all this started off, this is kind of crazy. The Pisces is in that range, so we'll grab that as well. Reliant Core. Oh, I've skipped past that, haven't I? Ugh. Now I've got to find one single ship in all of this. Oh God, I hate it. Where are you, Reliant? There we go. There we go. We can grab those, and then we're going to zip all the way back across to here. I might miss a couple. But the problem is, if you put the search in, I think it drops the compare bit, which isn't helpful. So this is why I'm kind of visually scanning the whole thing as opposed to, you know, cutter. There we go. We got the cutter in now. There's the Zeus. There's the Astra. Lightning. Sulen. Was the Intrepid before? It was before, wasn't it? The the Intrepid was after the Sulen. Yes, it was. There we go. There's that one. I think that's about it, right? For the moment, for those kind of multifunction starters. Hey, Nemoticon, good to see you. Yeah, let's go with that. So we're now going to compare the selected. So there we go. So what's the Reliant Core going for at the minute? Because of course the key difference in the Reliant Core is the fact that it's a two-seater, right? And it's no longer a starter because it's there you go, ship value $65. So it's all sitting in that $65 range. So forgive me if I'm wrong, or correct me rather if I'm wrong, but I think the most expensive out of that, it's the what's the Consolidated Outland one? The one with the ramp on the back. It's probably the most expensive out of these, right? And I think that has potentially more Nomad, thank you, Can. Yeah. I think that potentially has more going for it than the Aurora. Then again, maybe not. The modular thing makes it a real unknown quantity. So it'd be really interesting to see where they take it with that. And of course, we're still on this. Okay, so what I am going to do, I'm just going to transition to this. Let's do this then. Let me pop this up here. So we'll take the video that they're playing on the loop on the website, and we'll just pause at various bits. So this is the video from the website itself, without any of the text over the top, and that's a really nice transition, I've got to say. There's so many moving parts. You got the ramps here, you got the wings coming out, and then two guns either side. Yeah, I'm going to go with size no bigger than size 2s. Probably compared to the scale of the ship, they're size 2s. I would be very surprised if they're anything else. Don't know if it's just me, says the Pesman, but I really dislike speculation before release. Always feels like encouragement for CIG to push the number higher than they would on their own. Yeah, I mean, I get that. Certainly, if you're speculating a while off. I mean, maybe that's why there's a delay. They're listening to this and going, yeah, maybe we'll decide what it's going to come out as. But I didn't mean to do that. Oops. I'm just clicking stuff now because I'm frantically scrabbling a little bit. Let's keep going. Those are really nice, and I'm glad they're keeping them, and I'm glad the fact that they actually now look like they're working, so that's kind of cool. I like when the COG makes small ships, probably just me, but I like smaller ships more than large ships. Smaller ships feel more personal. Absolutely. Also, no. How come it's not available yet on the site? Do you know what? We're asking ourselves the same thing. The only thing I can think of is we'll do this for until the top of the hour, right? We'll do this for about another 10, 15 minutes. See if it comes out at 5 o'clock UK time. What's interesting is our clocks are due to go forward at the end of this week to British summertime. Maybe there's some mistake made in there. I don't know? Question mark. But we'll see. The guns are not size 3. Panthers look different. Yeah, I'm guessing that. The hype influenced the Perseus cost, I believe. Yeah, I think. I don't know. Do I think that? I'm trying to make sure that I don't misspeak and kind of give people the wrong impression. The Perseus, I think, was as one of the large capital ships. I think it is somewhat a victim of its own success. The Perseus was so successful when it first sold. You can see, if you go to the funding dashboard, you can see when the Perseus was sold because it's a chuffing great spike compared to everything else around it. The Perseus was singularly probably one of the best sales going. So yeah, and it's hard to know whether that's the number, the cost of the ship, a mix of both. But obviously there are much more expensive ships that don't do anything like that at release. So yeah. There's also, it's a little bit unfair to compare those really early ships because far fewer people knew and were backing the game when some of the concepts were sold. So it's really hard to kind of balance out what precisely is going on. But there's no doubt about the fact that Perseus is a universally successful ship. Furthermore, why are most of their ships not for sale now? Ultimately, so what they do is they do sales throughout the year where they sell some of it. They have some ships that are always available. Other ships are only available at certain times of the year. We have, for example, May, June time ILW, which is International Launch Week. It's an annual festival in the game where the UEE Navy used to go around to all the planets and collect like their training intake. Space travel in the verse has come on leaps and bounds. Everyone's able to go everywhere now. Yeah, it's like buses back in the 40s and 50s versus buses now, right? Most people have access to their own vehicles. So yeah, things are sold at different times. ILW, because it's a military celebration, you get military ships. The week after is Alien Week, you get the alien type ships. It's not FOMO, it's FOMAH. FOMAW. Fear of waiting a while. Yeah, if I don't buy it now, I'm not going to get a chance to buy it for another 3-4 months. Which is kind of interesting when you think about it. Because for a money grabbing company, they don't have to spend a lot of time with a lot of their product unavailable. It's kind of interesting. Pirate Week, Industrial Week, yeah, IEE, where almost everything is on sale, bar a couple of limited ships. There are also ships you can only buy so many of when they go on sale. They're called hull limited, which is really weird to make a digital asset limited, but there you go. So there we go. Not saying that last one, I'll get in trouble later at Ultrim. I'll get my backside kicked. But yeah, really glad they've kept this bit, so that looks really good. It's just such a good looking ship, I gotta say. The Ornithopter look, and I will say this as well. I think Nero said this in the Discord. The thruster placement at the back looks really cool, and you can see there. It looks like this bit here is part of the ship. Yep, and this bit here is the module that actually slides into the back of the ramp. So there's that. I'm assuming you can see my cursor or not? Yes, you can. Okay, cool. Speaking of which, thoughts on the Phoenix no longer hull limited? Yeah, I'm always a fan of people getting what they want in the game. So yes, that's very pretty, very pretty. And there we go. So there's your clearest yet. We saw those two modules. That's this one with the banding down the side. Yeah, and then very clearly, oh, with the banding down the side up here. 1, 2, 3 times 2. There's your cargo module. Okay. And then the second bit that we see, much shorter. So you see from the top-down version here, you've got this back thing, and this cargo module seems to extend past it. The other one is shorter, and you see here that it doesn't extend past that ramp. So that's the bit that sticks up. That's why it's so far back on that module, because it needs to fire out through that gap at the top between the plates. So that's kind of cool. There you go. And there's a shield generator in the back there as well. So an extra shield gen for the ship. Quite interesting to see those rods that run the length of the bits I said look like connections. You can actually see them here at the back as well. Because we obviously don't get this view with the sneak peek. So that's kind of cool. That's what it looks like sealed. Oh, and that's what it looks like open. So yeah, a lot of detail in there. And I've got to agree with what Melzy's just said. Ship designs are at their peak. I wonder if this will have any influence on the RSI Orion. Without a doubt, I think the Orion's going to need to see some work. I also think that the Bengal might need a little bit of tweaking. Although, with the Bengal, because we've seen so many images of it, and because it's in Squadron, I think it's going to be pretty much set as it is. I think we might just see a little bit of the interior design language change. But yeah. Opens top and bottom. Did it open bottom as well, did it? Yeah. Yes, it does. Good spot. Yeah, 100%. Nice. Yeah, yeah. So you see this bit here. Okay, so as it changes, here's the part of the new image. Watch this bit under the back of the ship. Yeah. So you get missiles in both directions. So potentially it might be 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom. Very interesting. Orion will be reconcepted a good deal, 100%. Whoever designed this modular system was probably looking at the multi-tool when they came up with the mounting. It looks very much similar, doesn't it? I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe it's literally going to be a case of get the tractor beam and lift it out. Maybe you're going to need an atlas to change them over. That'd annoy people, wouldn't it? Maybe it'll just be a tractor beam gun. But then again, the atlas at the moment is like 40,000 credits. You should show the original Aurora commercial. Carby, good idea. Let's do that. A starter-sized missile boat. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's only like 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom, something like that. Pretty small. But yeah, let's have a look. Let's see what's around. And if you guys want to do your part in true, Starship Troopers fashion, and keep an eye on the page, and call it out when everything changes over. And let's see. Sorry, Aurora. I'm going to put commercial in, and then it's going to be like, oh no, you can't have the old one. Oh my god, it just looks old. I'm just looking at it now. I'm just going to load it up so it's ready to go for you guys. Here we go.
So I was looking at the new Aurora, but then I was thinking, maybe I should get something that looks a little classy. But then I was like, no, I need something that can pull some serious weight. maybe I don't need all that cargo space. What about the Legionnaire? Now we're talking. How about some bigger guns? Little bigger. No, little bigger. There you go. And maybe some rockets, too. Actually, I should probably upgrade the power plant. I did like the leather seats on that LX, though. Yeah, perfect. All right, let's see what this baby can do.
It has a sort of retro chic. Just the style, the everything else. There is a retro chic to this, and you can see why back in the day we looked at this and went, oh my god, this is amazing. But holy shit. It's so unnecessary. Don't be mean. Don't be mean. It was great for its day. Why you do
this? Maybe I do need bigger cargo.
RSI's Aurora. There are many like it, but this one is yours.
It's a brick with a seat attached. Hey, Arcade Alchemist, good to see you. Yeah, so that's really interesting. Yeah, so as we say, hold the line. We're going to, I guess we'll just keep F5ing this. I don't know. And then hopefully at some point we'll get a notification that says you're ready to go. We are there. We're 5 o'clock. I'm really hoping it's going to be now. Because I don't want to be working till like 7 o'clock tonight. That'd be crap. So yeah, hold the line past the salt. Yeah. All we had were hopes and dreams back then when that commercial went live. Timble, do you know what, mate? That's a really good point. That's a really good point. I just sometimes, because obviously when you're living through it, it doesn't feel like things moving particularly well, and then you know you have, for whatever reason that it is, you have some reason to kind of pause and reflect and look back on what's there, and you realize just how far you've come. You know, you look at the Prowler utility, you look at the Aurora, you look at the Perseus, you look at even the Hermes, the Apollos, the Wolf, for God's sake. They've done such a good job. You know, when you want to live out your dystopian fantasies, you know, Star Wars fantasies, you go and live out you go work in the Clipper, you know, use the Clipper. They've come so far. It's been frankly incredible. And sometimes we forget that because we're living it and we want this finished product, that actually just how far they've come. And massive props to the team. John Crew and the rest of the team are doing an incredible job with the ships. They are without a doubt the most detailed ships in gaming right now. Just what you can do with them, it's kind of crazy. CIG is literally the Wayland Yutani of video games. It's a really unfortunate comparison. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that's a really unfortunate comparison. But yeah, would be nice if the Electro Hull paint was sprung on us. Very possibly. Kirby Deej says you have to remember the original game showcase was locked, and then you realise the Aurora was already a step up at that time. Exactly. They've come an incredible distance. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Wouldn't it be nice if the old paints worked? Yeah, I mean, just given the fact that the Apollo and the Hermes are separated out, that I would rank the chances of that up there with hell freezing over. But yeah, should we talk about the Hammerhead Gold Pass? We can do, if that ends up happening, and I think whoever's said it is pretty much bang on, right? is there any movement in the patch chat on Spectrum? I forget what it is, and I apologise for whoever's about to go to Spectrum, that wretched hive of scum and villainy, but there is some nuggets of good information in there. Has anyone had a chance to have a look at that? What are they saying? Because what normally happens is Wacker gives us a very quick, oh, by the way, you know, this. Do you know what? I'll tell you what, while we're here, hey Brian, good news, well, I say good news and bad news. Good news is you haven't missed anything, bad news is you haven't missed anything. So a quick question for you guys. I was thinking today about how, I don't know if you've noticed, I've been working on thumbnails. One of the things that I've been doing over the last couple of weeks is reading up on what works. I hate having my face on the thumbnails. However, I am told that works very, very well. It's on the ship. It's on the store. It's on the store. Go! Go, 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 go! Go, go, go! Okay, we're going to go for the ships instead. Or link it to me. One of the two. Go, 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 go! Ah, ah, ah. Jeez, if you're winding me up, mate. If you're winding me up, me and you are going to fight. Aurora Mark Two. There we go. Page updated. It just dropped. Here we go. Okay. Oh no! What? What? What are you doing? Oh, view offers. No, did I just see that? $45. Behave. Behave. That's mental. No. All right. What's going on with the? So, oh, these are all war bonds. Okay. That makes more sense. Holy cow. That makes more sense. Right. So, standalone ship. Let's have a look. Aurora Mark Two. What am I seeing? So this isn't the game package. It doesn't. I'm not seeing anything for modular. Right. Let's just go to the main page, shall we? All right. Everyone calm down. Everyone calm down. Oh my God, it's happening. Oh my God, it's happening. Is that not? Let's just calm down. Let's take a breath. No game pack at the minute. Behind the ships, Aurora Mark Two. Here we go. Right. Let's give everything else a chance to catch up. Let's go to YouTube if it's there. Are we up? Are we up behind the ships? Let's go. Behind the ships. Okay, let's have a look and see what they say.
So the RSI Aurora is the quintessential starter Star Citizen ship.
For people that have been with the project a long time, it was one of the first ships that they saw.
So it gave you that first experience of boarding your own ship, exploring the interior, although limited, and then finally climbing into the pilot seat and then taking off for your first mission or exploration.
Good spot.
So the RSI Aurora
My bad.
is the quintessential starter Star Citizen ship.
Good spot.
For people that have been with the project a long time, it was one of the first ships that they saw.
So it gave you that first experience of boarding your own ship, exploring the interior, although limited, and then finally climbing into the pilot seat and then taking off for your first mission or exploration.
Volume okay?
Whilst the game has evolved over the last decade and we have learned a lot more about building spaceships in that time, we felt that now was the right time to go revisit the Aurora series.
Doing a follow-up of the original Aurora is actually quite the task because you have to make sure that it's as beloved as the original.
It's gorgeous. That's really nice.
The Mark II combines the classic DNA of the original Mark I Aurora and then brings it up to modern day standards, both in terms of visuals and gameplay loop.
RSI tend to want to kind of push the boundaries a little bit. They want to look back and see what they've done in the past and what was successful, but they're not scared to really embrace new ideas. We've tried to keep the overall proportions and styling of the base Aurora with the Mark II, but we just tried to sharpen it up.
It has a really angular style. It looks really sleek. Everything flows, and it has this sort of layered, armored look.
The circular door is still there to enter the ship, but it's hidden by the newer layered RSI door designs.
And it's still circular. That's cool.
We've
That's
still
cool.
got those really iconic 4 wings down the sides that give the ship its length.
There's also some doors that open up and they show the VTOLs underneath, which are these fans that help support the ship while it's changing trajectories.
There's even a cool new feature where you can vault onto the top of the ship over the front canopy.
My favorite part of that entire ship is actually the back section. It has
Nice.
tons of detail that all lines up towards the center of the ship.
Something we were keen to follow up with is some of the RSI ships have transforming states, such as the Scorpius.
We were playing with the idea of like, do we open the wings, do we not open the wings? And as soon as we kind of started playing with the idea and seeing how it looked, it just felt natural.
That's very cool. That's
Base
incredible.
Aurora Mark Two comes with 4 size 2 weapon hardpoints, as well as 4 size 2 missile hardpoints,
Nice
each
price, yeah.
defaulting to 2 size 1 missiles.
The guns are actually attached to what the wings are attached to. So when the wings pop off, the guns are still attached to the ship.
So if you lose your wings, you're not totally out of the fight.
No, so if you lose your wings, you'll lose your missiles, and you'll lose the VTOL if you lose the bottom wings.
Interesting.
When we were doing the original design for the Mark II Aurora, one thing that came up was, do we want to do variants or do modules?
In terms of production, a variant of a ship is actually a lot of work on our part. You have to redo modeling, you have to almost rethink the whole entire ship.
The ship now, instead of being a variant, comes with 2 different modules.
And the advantage of modules is you buy one Aurora Mark II, and forever in the future, when upgrades happen to the ship, you can grab that module and then add it to your own ship.
The TS
that's how we're
module,
changing
or
them
what
at
we
the
internally
minute.
refer to as the cargo module, provides an additional 6 SEU cargo on a drop lift, which takes the whole cargo capacity of the Aurora Mark II with it equipped to 8 SEU.
You know what I really like about that is that the bit that brings it up and down is in the center of the pod. So it's not like the Connie where you're fighting to put it in between stuff. You mount around it, and that's really, really useful when you're using trade
Which is
ships.
pretty competitive in a starter ship. And then one of the big changes with the TS cargo module and the base Aurora is the cargo is held internally rather than underslung underneath, so it's more protected.
Nice.
So it's great for somebody who's just getting started, who wants to do hauling missions before upgrading to something bigger like a Zeus. So it's
Ship. And then one of the big changes with the TS cargo module and the base Aurora is the cargo is held internally rather than underslung underneath, so it's more protected.
So you've got the module.
So it's great for
You've also got that on the base.
somebody who's just getting started, who wants
That
to do
is cool.
hauling missions
8
before
SCU.
upgrading to something bigger like a
This
Zeus.
destroys the Intrepid.
Or you can either go with a defense module, which adds 8 S2 missiles and also 1
8
S1
size
shield
twos.
generator in the back of it.
So if you add 8 S2 missiles, you're much more lethal. And if you add another S1 shield, you're adding 50% more shield to your ship.
So the player can decide whichever one suits their playstyle the most.
In the future, we can definitely foresee other modules coming along, and anybody who has the Aurora Mark II now will be able to use those modules later on.
Big cow.
One of the kind of
That's
limiting
incredible.
factors of the Mark I was its overall size. With the Mark II, we built it more from the inside out, so we knew all the features that we wanted it to deliver.
You get in from the airlock door. On your left, you have the nice pilot seat. We have a nice view from there. We have a lot of glass, so we can really see space from pretty much everywhere when you turn around. You have 2 shelves for mission boxes, so you can take the ship to do missions. You have engineering screen with components below that. If you continue on the right, you have a suit locker and a weapon rack. And at the end of the ship, you have the bed. with a lot of
Which
space
looks
compared
like
to the first
the most
Aurora.
uncomfortable thing
When you lie down, you
I've
have
ever
a big
seen.
screen on top of your head.
It's very enclosed, but it all has a very functional style to it. Everything like sort of feels like it should be where it is. The paints are awesome. We have a lot of cool options.
We have a solid black one. We have a bronze and green one. There's one tint that's iridescent that's inspired by an Aurora Borealis. I think that one came out really well. One of my favorite tints was inspired by an old video game that I grew up with that I loved. And I think when the players find it, they'll be doing some barrel rolls.
Alongside the Mark Two Aurora,
it's not
we
Star
also
Fox,
like to
is it?
celebrate the Mark One Aurora, and for that reason we decided to introduce a 6th special edition variant called the Aurora Mark One SE.
So the Mark 1 Special Edition is really our sending off of the Mark 1. It's taking all of the best elements from the different Mark 1 models that we do and combining them into one.
So it takes the improved cargo of the CL, the base level of the MR,
Interesting.
the weapon loadout and the intakes of the LN, and then the luxurious take of the LX seat.
We also wanted to give it a really nice, unique paint. And we wanted to give it a nice
That's
update
nice.
to the interior in terms of its materials and its colours. So it kind of feels like a high-end sports model of some of the cars you see out and about.
Very nice.
So is the Mark II replacing the Mark 1?
No, it's not replacing it. So you still get to keep all your Mark 1 Auroras. RSI just aren't manufactured anymore. Just like the Mark 1 Hornets, they're here to stay in-game. They're still going to be supported, they're still going to have bug fixes, they're going to have any features that they don't support yet updated in time to support that. They're here to stay, but we hope they will turn into this classic car status within the universe.
I'm very happy with the ship. The team did a great job.
Okay, that works.
It is clearly an Aurora, but brought up to just kind of modern RSI visuals.
I have a big background in creating the first levels of games. For me as a designer, I thought a lot about the new player coming on and having the ship be as welcoming as possible.
It's a great starter package. It's everything you could want to start the game with.
But even if you have other ships, it's there as a sort of useful modular utility ship that you can just have as your second ship perhaps, when your main ship is perhaps being claimed or damaged and you just want to get back out there.
Okay, so a couple of things we take from that. At the moment, the modular switching is still done in the mobiGlass switch. Fine, whatever. They're obviously moving that way, but they're not there yet. The Aurora's getting a special edition, the Mark 1, which combines all of the features of each ship into one package with its own unique paint, so that's cool. I guess the only thing that's left to do at this point is, have we got the link to the store page on here? No, why would you put the link to the store page on here? That's just daft. So yeah, holy moly! What does it say? Let's answer the question first. I see a lot of people asking about Mark 1s. Let's answer this question first. Is this the?
It began with an idea, more than curiosity, more than.
Okay, fine. That's the. Oh, of course, and we can't look at the ship until 4.7's gone live. Are we at 4.7? Question mark. Did 4.7 come out as well, or not? Yeah. So let's have a look at this one first. So we got the parting gift. Almost every skin for that. Oh my good God! Look at that. Holy moly. Good Lord. That's a lot of yeah. Oh, the Dread Pirate skin for it. Nice. Okay. So there's that. Right, so we don't have 4.7, so we can't actually go and see it yet, despite the fact that whilst that was going on, I've just added one to my fleet. So, oops. My bad. Okay. here's the Aurora Mark One. Sorry, Mark Two. Modular utility. Crazy. So it's good, but sometimes I find these quite confusing to read through. Okay, so the defense module, additional size 1 shield, additional 8 size 2 missiles, and an additional 6 SCU. Okay, and then where's the rest of it? Fine, lots of missiles, great. And then the paints are what? So we got the shade paint, nice. Caspian is a little bit bright for me. I don't know what you guys think. Obscurity, nice. Medallion paint, yeah, okay. Shimmer scale, yeah. I like the shimmer scale, and I'm taking it that there's another one. So Cloudbuster is the, so is it Cloud Fox from Star Fox? Was it Cloud? Was his name? I don't know. But yeah, there you go. There's the Star Fox stuff. It's fitting farewell to the Aurora Mark One, especially. Yeah, so it is going. Looks like the Mark One's going. Okay, and then it will be no more. So there we go. It doesn't actually talk about. It's got the modules. Where's the basic? Tell me how much cargo it's got. Because I think that was 2, right? One either side, or it might be that there's 1 on one side. Okay. Holy moly. That is crazy for a starter pack. You get the shimmer scale paint, and you get a bunch of gear, and you get the game for less than the price of the ship non-warbond. Holy cow. And sure, that'll be warbond, right? But it's because all the packs are new money, right? Oh, I'm throwing things around in here. Just going to keep that moving. So, yeah. Limited time game pack is that, and the Aurora Mark Two. Okay. Yep, so shimmer scale paint free in Aurora Mark Two. So if you buy any Mark Two Warbond, you get the shimmer scale paint as well. And then we've got, good lord, for the Warbond stuff. Plus modules. Okay. Why are you not loading? Oh, damn it. I'm guessing it's kind of crashing the net a little, or crashing their site a little bit. Yeah. So there we go. And these are always Warbond, aren't they? Yeah. Okay. So there we go. So the Aurora on its own, $40 for 50, which comes up to $45 with taxes. Modules, yeah, are $10 each. Fine. Paints are all in there. Fine. So, is there... Someone said there was a pack with all the modules in it? Or are we adding them individually? It feels like a proper evolution of my most used daily driver, says Luna. I love it. I'll buy a Farewell Mark 1. Nice. They've had some good starter deals. Seems to be working. It does. Much better deal than the Avengers. 70 odd bucks for the game package and both modules. Yeah. This is kind of crazy. This is quite something else. Fantastic price. It blows me away. It really does. That blew me away. I really am struggling to question now, why on earth would you ever get the Intrepid? That's quite something. Holy moly. Game pack doesn't come with modules. The ship standalone comes with modules as a pack option for well cheap. Yeah. So the modules are on that page. So if you scroll down, They'll be added in game in like 3 to 6 months, I think, unless they've gone. But yeah, your modules are down here. The only thing I find interesting is that actual paint doesn't seem to be in there. It's like, where's your? Is that the factory standard paint? Am I being dumb? Yeah, so that's factory standard. Fair enough. I'm just being dumb. That's okay. I can be dumb sometimes. I'm allowed. I've got to say, I am blown away by the pricing. Do you think the cargo could hold a hover bike? I'm going to go with no. I've got a pulse. I can give it a go. But I'm going to say no, just because that center bit is taken up with an actual kind of descending. That's how the lift is raised and lowered through the center. So you only actually have one SCU wide space either side of that. I don't know if that's going to be fit. Pulse could even fit in the cockpit. We'll give it a go, but we'll see. I mean, certainly you won't be driving it on there, right? There you go. So Aurora plus modules and Cloudbuster paint for the War Bond. So was this yeah? So this is a concierge one because it's got the Cloudbuster paint on it. Holy moly. Modules by themselves have no insurance listed, so if you get it nicked, that's the end of it. Is that what's going to happen? And then let's have a look at the upgrades. So I take it the thing plus packs is not on here, no? Sorry, the ship plus modules. It's only the ship. There isn't a module pack. No, because it would come up with multiple versions, right? Okay. Okay. And then what's the Aurora special thing? I take it the same price, sort of. No, it's loads more. It's $60. Oofed. Just oofed. That's rough. Kaizen, it's better than the cutter, though. You can put an STV in a cutter, for example. Yeah, it's going to be one of those things and I like that they're doing this. It's not a case that it's better or worse. It's a case of what are you using it for. So, for example, if you're wanting to shift, can you fit a fabricator in the back of a cutter? You can certainly fit the mule, right? So if you're using that sort of vehicle stuff, it probably is better. The cutter's going to be more useful. This does seem to be a bit more well-rounded. But yeah, that's kind of... If your ship had a mod, it gets replaced with the ship. Modules are not insured anymore by themselves. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's really quite something. I'm blown away with that. I really am blown away. I think that's really, really impressive. Like we said, we were all saying even my War Bond price didn't come close to $45. I was still $10 above that. So, but then again, $45. So $63 with the modules. So yeah, interesting. So what do we think? People, who's getting this? Hey Stuart, good to see you. I had to buy one for a runabout. Congratulations, you just reached Space Marshal. Damn it. Oh mate. Well, first of all, congratulations. Secondly, stop it. Get some help. So that's cool. CIG played their cars well, says Melzy. They maintained the price of the starter pack and didn't chase the inflation narrative. That is quite something. That is quite something. I'm actually kind of quite impressed that they've gone that route. That's cool. And you can, even if you want to, get the modules without the paints, right? So even non-concierge can get it. You just don't get the Cloudbreaker paint. So you still get your modules, and that's valued at that. I know it's slightly annoying because I'm not. Let's switch that out for a second, just so it all makes sense. So yeah, $66 ship value. Interesting, right? Marketing praise, I hear, right? And this is the thing, right? Is that we need to go down this road. This is one of the things that I think creators and all of us have a role in, is we are all very good at pointing out when we don't like something, right? But it's like anything. It's with anyone. Everyone at the end of the day is a human to some extent or another, and psychology works like this, is that you praise the behavior that you want. So credit where credit due. The ship team did an amazing job. And the marketing team have done a really good job of keeping the pricing where it is. So, well done both for doing this. This is exactly the direction that we want. Do we pay a little bit more for the modules? Yes, sure, fine. We can manage that, I think, as a group. You're talking now same price as the Intrepid, so with the same cargo capacity, or is the cargo Intrepid's 10, right? Intrepid 10? Confirmed more modules come in the future. Is there an FAQ come out as well then? Am I missing an FAQ? 8. So it is 8. Yeah, so it's horses for courses because they're the same price, right? You've got more punch out of the size 4. I don't have a DPS comparison for the two, but there we go. So there we go. Let's have a look. Q&A, RSI Aurora. This is going to be the key thing as well. So let's go through this. One of the most iconic ships of the Vash. What makes the Mark II feel like a worthy evolution? I feel like we get this stuff in the video, right? So, can the folding wings be triggered independently, or are they linked exclusively to takeoff and land? So they can be toggled independently. Interesting. So you can fly with the wings folded back, just as we saw in that. So they're triggered independently, but you're forced to fold it for landing. That makes sense, and a really, really nice touch. The switching between these two wing states alter the way ships fly or handles. In the future, mirror minor aerodynamic changes. At launch, primary difference is that wing guns are disabled when the wings are folded, to prevent them firing through the ship and to prevent players from engaging in combat with a significantly reduced frontal cross section. Okay, fair enough. I get that. Why did you make the change from variants to modularity? Part of the initial design scope when creating the Mark II was to explore what differences we can make between modules or variants. Looking at the existing game loops, we decided that having a base ship capable of doing a little bit of most missions with the option to further boost its performance with modules was more interesting than making variants. Agree 100%. Nicely done. Like that a lot. Does the 6 SU of cargo from the cargo module stack with the 2 of embedded storage? Yes, it does. Compared to other starters, this puts it up there with the Avenger Titan and Reliant Core, and above others such as the Anvil Pisces and Drake Cutter. Nice. The combat module adds another shield generator and missile rack. How does this change affect the combat experience of the Mark II Aurora? Offensive firepower and defending. I mean, it's not rocket science, right? I feel like we could have guessed that ourselves. The Aurora Mark II is the first ship to feature externally attached modules. Players can attach and detach the modules manually with the tractor beam. Oh, so it is tractor beam. Very, very cool. If players own the modules, they can be called up by freight elevators, but they can also salvage and attach them via the tractor beam if they can find them. Yeah, so people are going to be salvaging people's modules all over the damn place. That's a thing now. So there we go. That's very, very cool. Yeah, because look, so this is what I like about this is now all of a sudden there's something on the Polaris that makes a lot of sense. You land this in the Polaris, I think. You can detach and attach the modules and put them down the elevator into the cargo bay. And even if you can't do that precisely because maybe modules are too big for the elevator, you can see that's where they're going with this. So that's quite a nice touch. Right, is now, like you say, retrofits in space, we can bring the modules with us rather than having to return to home base if you're operating from a ship big enough to do it. That's really cool. Does the module, through size, shape, or weight, change the flight characteristics? Yes, through mass. Will there be more modules in the future? More modules are planned. We're not ready to confirm anything specifically. There are multiple game loops that would have a module to allow players to utilize it. Interesting. So, the main differences between the ships are a result of the scope of the game. From player metrics point of view, ships require much more space internally. Ugh. Sorry guys, that's rude. For traversal and access to items, but also the number of things we add to ships now, such as weapon racks, storage, fire extinguishers, and component access. This, combined with adopting the newest RSI styling, has resulted in a ship that's larger but more capable than its predecessor. Nice. Okay, does anyone want anything from the Mark One? I'm just gonna have a quick read down and see if there's any questions that need answering. So no, the paints aren't transferable, and that's fine. SE is only for this promotion. So if you want it, if you want to own a little slice of Star Citizen history, even if you don't want it yourself, if you want to save it for a couple of years and then flog it as an ultra rare ship, it's worth grabbing one now. This is not me shilling for Star Citizen. For CIG. I'm just saying what I've seen happen in the verse. So no, Mark 1 will stay for the whole time. Will the Aurora Mark 1 be earnable in-game? So it's going to stay... The Mark 1 will stay in shops for another 6 months. Okay. So it looks like it's going to be removed from in-game shops as well. Doesn't disappear from in-game and web shops for another 6 months. We're always considering interesting ways for players to acquire rare in-game items. For now, we're keeping the door open for fun ways. Future players might still acquire a collector's item like this in-game down the line. Exploration has another purpose of going to find really old versions. Like a Zeus Mark 1, for example. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? But certainly this is going to be something that you can find in-game. So that's kind of cool. My Little Penguin That Could, the Avenger Titan, says MLZ is now showing its age. It really is. Space Saga, welcome in, buddy. Base building module confirmed then, lol. I mean, possibly. The jettison cargo button, dropping the module, would be peak if they could add that. With a little parachute, so you can do little supply drops. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. I picked up a CCU for the SE. Nice. Yeah, good plan for that. I don't know how they've done it, but they've managed to create FOMO for a ship so bad. Its only utility for 12 years was a pad-ramming missile. I mean, yeah, but we didn't know it was FOMO until recently, right? We didn't know we didn't know we were getting Mark Twos until recently. I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised. Very pleasantly surprised. The ship by itself, in my mind, without the modules, they could be charging another $20, right? It's a goddamn good-looking ship. However, it makes sense with the modules to be the price that it is, because that bumps it up $18, which is exactly what I'm saying with the modules. So that's actually quite a nice way to do things, I think. The price has been an absolute surprise. I'm going to go as far as saying the price has been an absolute delight to find that out. That's kind of cool. That really is kind of cool that it's come out at that level. The SE will be a great starter also. It will do. For those that like the retro look, 100%. It's in a really nice place. Base building module, question mark, just literally a bigger fuel tank. Fuel tank, 100% could be like a long-range fuel tank. It could be scanning. It could be a data running side to it, right? You could do all sorts of things with it. Bounty hunting module. Stasis pod. Hey, SC, good to see you, bud. Yeah, SC, welcome in, and for anyone else that's joined just in the recent moments, the Aurora Mark Two is out. The shock here in a very, very good way. This thing is $45. $9 per module. One is plus 6 SCU. One is an extra shield generator and 8 size 2 missiles. 4 fire up, 4 fire down. That is also very cool. Bringing her to a total value of, check my math on this, $63 plus tax. And some really, really pretty paints. Very pretty paints. So the price shocked me. So Void Tiger got 2. Nice. Drop sheet troop bay. I don't think it's that big. I don't think it's that big. Because you need to stand up to get in there. But that's it. Very good price. Yeah, incredibly so. This is a very, very good looking ship. A very, very good looking ship. Because see, the thing is I'm a massive fan of like the olive drab military style, and that kind of copper orange on the front is nice as well. I'm okay. Just give us a quick yes, me, whoever in chat, if you're happy disclosing it. Who's gone and got one of these, or is going to get one of these in the near future? What do we think? I'm going to type me, because I got one. Yeah, the medallion is really nice. I like the medallion livery. Me. Holy moly. So we've got 78 in here, and that's a lot of people. I would say that's probably close to a third of the stream. And that's just the people that are happy to say it, or the people that are actively listening. Viper Leo, hello, buddy. Good to see you. Alexander Vixen, welcome in. A couple of new faces in chat. Forever Gamer and everyone else. If I haven't said hello, I normally try to. Ashra, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you again. Pinwheel, if I haven't said hello, I really apologise. I'm trying my best to keep up, but there we go. I'm just blown away. I'm honestly blown away. I've bought it, and what I will do, I'm not going to stay and wait until 4.7. What I will do, if you want to see my reaction to the ship itself, I've got it. I'm going to go grab the paint in a second. It's just doing that. Typical bloke. I cannot multitask for the life of me, so I'm not going to go buy paints and stuff on there. I got a quick upgrade, non-war bond. Don't need to go for the whole war bond thing. I've got some ships that have literally LTI tokens that have gone up, so it's LTI anyway. It doesn't matter, and then we'll go there. So there we go. Sorry, there's. Are you in Twitch and YouTube right now? So just YouTube, Nova. I'll get into the Twitch thing on another day, but basically I won't do business with Twitch as it stands. They've got to do some management changes. I don't like the way they're doing things. So yeah, I have an 890 jump. Why would I need one? Man makes a good point. Maybe because you need to land on a small pad? Question mark. It will fit. Do you think the module will work today? Not me, 100%. I think we need, and I'm going to give that a go when I do the video. So if you are interested in the reaction and you're not already, hit sub. I'll get the video up tonight. I know I'm signing myself up to an extra late night, and I've got an early start in the morning. But this has got me fired up. I want to see this ship. I want to do it. I want to play with it. So yeah, there we go. So not me, it's actually 8. So you've got, along with so the Mark II itself has 2 SCU of cargo, and they sit in little ramps on the side. And then if you buy the module, it's an additional 6. So it's 8 SCU total. If you have the module, without that, just 2. Yeah, good. Awesome. Sorry. Sorry, I labour the point sometimes. Going to deck it out with stealth components and see what I can do with the new radar changes. Viper, let us know how you get on with that. That'd be awesome. Could be another 12 hours for 4.7. Absolutely 100%. But we're going to keep going. 2 little external doors. That's it. So yeah, it's impressive. What I tell you, what I'm kind of interested to see is in the first hour of this, I kind of want to know how much they make in the first hour, because I think this is going to be crazy popular. Crazy popular. I think it's just going to be mental. And I'm also going to enjoy trying this in VR. But yes, so we'll give it a go. I've Avenger Titan and Clipper for small ships. No need for another small ship, to be honest, but I like it, not going to lie. I'm going to buy it in game properly, says Berakaisen. Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing, is some of us find ships and we're like, oh my god, I must own that. And other people are like, meh. So that's it. Pilgrim just got one. This is kind of crazy. I'm very impressed with what they've done with this ship. And I'm labouring the point, I know, but bear with me on this. I love the fact that CIG, at least with the Mark II, have taken the approach of, we sold it at a low price. Is it the same price? It's just a little bit higher, right, than the other one? Some of the Auroras? I mean, I can answer my own question. I could just go to the upgrade bit and answer my own question. No patch at the moment yet, Chris. That's coming later, it seems. So we can't get to muck around yet. So it is the same price. The Aurora Mark II, if I kill that on that side. Oh, that's my ships, that's why. So it's the same price. Which is kind of cool. Right, so the CL. So they basically went, we're gonna keep it as the same kind of, you know, or in the same vein. Yes, the modules make it slightly more expensive, but you don't need to buy the modules, or you can, if you can wait a couple of months, you buy them in game, and that'll be that. Not sure, Cheese. I'm sure someone in here will be able to use that, but I haven't used the Golem yet. I don't own it. So yeah, some craziness. I've got to go and update my fleet thing yet again. Ugh. But yeah, I'll be very interested to see how successful this is in its first kind of couple of hours of existing. I'll definitely break my hiatus, only hiatus to check it out, says Luna. I really hope you enjoy it, and obviously, if you'd like some company while you do that, if your hobby's not just as keen as you to jump in, then by all means give us a shout, and I'd love to check it out with you. But entirely up to you, mate. No pressure. You know where I am in Discord if you want to join up and play, and that goes for anyone else really. Lum says, welcome in. The ship is going to sell so much that. Exactly that. Yeah, I think it's SC. I get it 100%. Luna plays because, you know, there's not been enough progress, and I think certainly up until the beginning of 4.0, I would agree with that. So yeah, sorry Luna, not to speak for you, but exactly that. I think I'm going to buy one, even though I have no real need for a houseboy. Biz. I'm going to say this, mate. Sometimes with hobbies, you buy stuff just because you want it, right? You buy the shiny because it's shiny. And with a hobby, as long as you know you're still paying the bills and feeding the kids and doing whatever else, right? Who cares? Honestly, who cares? It's a hobby, that's the whole point of it. And this is one of the many reasons I don't tell you guys whether you should buy it or not. I get hyped about stuff and I talk about it and I talk about what I'm saying. This is why I don't do buyer's guides and stuff, because one of the problems with it is there are going to be people out there who are absolutely adamant they want the Aurora Mark One because they love the look of it. And I don't see that personally. But then, you know, there's ships where I go, I really like that, and other people go, really, why? Something about the Hull A. I don't own it, but I really like the look of it. I'm going to get it in game, but I kind of like the look of the Hull A. I don't know what it is. I cannot, because it doesn't apply to the Hull C. It does not apply to the Hull C at all. Hull A, cute. Don't know. And this is the thing. This is the part of it. So yeah. But yeah, so I mean, SE, I got to call you out on this, mate. Look at me, I'm so cool because I play once a year. That was not what was said. If you consider that to be cool, that's a reflection of you, not of Luna. Just saying. But yeah, so there's that. I mean, I know Luna's cool, but I know Luna's cool for other reasons, so it's fine. Mark Two is quite a bit heavier than the Mark One. Yes, and because, like we said, it's you look at it and it's like twice the size, certainly twice the length. So there we go, or there or thereabouts. Everyone needs a bit of shiny in their life. Absolutely. Some people have too much shiny and need an intervention. Looking at nobody in particular. You're not on the stream at the minute because you haven't said anything, and you always say something when you come in. But you know who you are, and when you watch this back, you'll know that I'm talking to you. So everyone else, don't worry about it. But there we go. Modular ships, my beloved, exactly that. That's it. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm looking forward to that sort of stuff. Kirby, I didn't mute myself. You might have muted yourself, my friend, or you might have muted me, more to the point. But no, I'm still here, and I'm still seeing the levels, and so we're all good. And I get jumped on the second I mute myself because I'm so damn good at it. So there we go. But yeah. So weird. Yeah, no clue. No clue. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. And it's got me kind of pumped. Oh my god, I want an Aurora turret module. 2 size 4s. Maybe possibly not that. I don't think we're going to get one of those. I don't think that's likely. But just blown away by that sort of stuff. I'm just going to have a quick look at the special edition. I know we were here before, but I just wanted another quick look. She's a bit of a monstrosity, isn't she, really? With like the extra vent on the top and everything else. It's like, I've got a vent to scoop in absolutely nothing because it's a vacuum. Space is a vacuum. It's not how that works. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of... It's nice that they talked about giving it a send-off as well. I think that's kind of cool. And now the sneak peek of both seats makes sense, right? Because they were in effect advertising 2 ships. It wasn't just a comparison. But yeah, so this will have a unique exterior, which is celebration. They say commemorative celebration. That thing, I guess. Because it had that, it's like this shimmer effect, right, as it's flying along. That's kind of cool. Yeah, there's the entire Aurora family. And yes, on the face of it, these might look slightly more expensive, but bearing in mind that because they are not modular, they come with all the kit that they could need for each of their roles. They're not lacking a defense module or the cargo module. There we go. Picture Scout says, previous to the Mark II highlighting yesterday, I was of the meh, won't need or be interested in that gang. Now I'm getting it, no question asked. Pictish, you know what? We were in Discord when I saw that. I jumped in Discord just afterwards and I was like, God damn, I'm going to be an Aurora pilot. God damn, I'm going to be an Aurora pilot. That is something else. That's a very, very pretty ship. And I'm not just talking about the Mark 1 SE. I'm just saying it's pretty. The Mark II is very, very nice. Holy moly. All of those paints for the Mark 1. That's kind of cool. Badger's on at the age where I stop caring what people think of me. No, absolutely, mate. And you and I both. Although, or at least I thought that's where I was. And then you have a YouTube channel and you have your opinions torn apart repeatedly online. And I try not to react to it, but sometimes you're like, that's a bit mean. But Like, it's fine. I think thinking people mean, it doesn't change my opinion of me. It's just like, oh, that was a bit... Maybe I didn't explain myself particularly well. I can only imagine Gray's Market adding one size 8 to the Aurora Mark Two, and as it fires, the ship twirls backwards uncontrollably as a side effect. Yeah. Just a couple of engines bolted to a Medusa cannon with a seat on top. All these paints over the years just showing its age. Exactly that. And like we said when we watched the trailer for the Mark One, it's kind of crazy just how far they've come with the ship design. I'm blown away. I am blown away. It's something else. Yes, so that's the Aurora Mark Two. Do you know what? We've got 7 minutes. Should we wait for an hour if we have a look at... Oh, sorry, should we wait for 7 minutes to see what it's made in its first hour? Because I'm really kind of interested to see how much... Is this just something people melt for? Have people just gone for the new ship and gone war bond because of the low price? This will be really interesting. Porta potty module for Mark II. Shower module. Bath module. Jacuzzi module. There we go. That's what we get. It's crazy they have... what was that? 215 flight-ready ships by my count at this point. Yeah. Factory standard is nice. The thing is, I can see almost all of those. I think the Caspian is the one that I am least impressed with. I like the obscurity because the wings, that's very, very similar to the original, one of the original Mark Ones. That's kind of cool. Docking module, so you can put it... No. Why are you like... What? Honestly... We start talking modules and that's it. Disco module with the disco balls and really, really big speakers. Medallion paint I like. Shimmer scale paint I love. And then Cloudbuster is, yeah, all right. I get it. Opinion. Add it to an existing account or start another account with this banger of a deal. Jabba, so what you can do is if you want to add it to your own account... So there's 2 ways to do this, right? You add it to your own account because you can gift it. If you're buying it with new money, you can see if you make another account later and you want to do that, you can then gift it to another account, right? And that becomes the game package. The other way to do it is you see, for a referral bonus, for example, is you put your referral code on your main account and then refer yourself with your alt account and use the game package to push you over the referral count. Right, there's that. And if anyone wants to do that and they're going to pick up a game package with this and you don't have anyone's referral code to use, there's mine in the bottom. But I'm doing fine, as you might imagine, so don't prioritize me over friends that might want that sort of stuff. But if you're looking for that, then there is at the bottom. You get extra credits. I get a referral bonus. Everyone's a winner. I'm an Aurora Alexa, and this is Grumpy Old Mad. Just bought the Warbomb Mark 1 SE and the Mark 2, and of course all Mark 1 and 2 paints. Shut up and take my money. Grumpy, mate, more power to you, my friend. If I wasn't in the middle of going to buy a house, I'd probably be a little bit more throwing stuff at this. But I've got to be a little bit careful, so I've used some store credit instead and just upgraded a previous LTI token. I am enjoying this, but mate, I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy them. Can't wait until the Mark II comes out later today. I am every so often, the reason I'm looking over here so much is I am just updating live on the launcher to see if it pops up, because if so, we will jump across and there's that. But yeah, mate, really cool. The Cloudbuster paint is a Star Fox reference. Yes, it is. They alluded to that in the video. Yeah, it's a very, very accomplished ship. The ship design is incredible. The comparison or the similarity to the Ornithopter, I am sure, is intentional. Once they made the choice to go an open wing, I'm sure that's the way that they've gone. And the one thing that I'm really interested to see, and hopefully we'll get an update of that in just a moment, is I'm going to have a look at their funding and see what the last hour made them. So, not a huge amount. I mean, obviously, it's not an insignificant amount of money, but some cash went out. Maybe a couple of people thought they'd buy some Auroras just in case they went out of sale. Whatever's like still available. Busy just bought his. Congratulations, or theirs. Sorry, I'm making an assumption there. Watch CIG make a 2 Thopter with flapping bird-like wings. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we'll see in just a couple of minutes how much it's changed, and then I'm going to call it. I will put a video up as soon as I can. It will go up as soon as I'm able to put it all together and edit it and launch it out. I'm hoping that'll be tonight. I'm going to get working on some of that before we start, so that all the hard work's done. It'll be, once the editing's done, it'll get loaded up. So if you want that and you're not already, hit subscribe and you'll be notified that once that goes live. Really, really impressed with this. Really impressed to see what it looks like in game. I can't wait. It's not often. We were just talking at the weekend about the ships that I want, and I'm kind of like, well, I like the idea of a Banu Merchantman. I also think it's far too big for what I'd want to do with it, but I like the idea of one, and I'm really going to want to explore one when one comes out. So there's that. Other than that, there are other ships I'm kind of interested in, but I'm not sure. Like, it's not sort of things I want to spend money on. And then CIG go and pull this out of the bag and do this, and that's incredible. So that's really cool that they've done such a good job. Yeah, I guess I'll just keep hitting refresh, and let's see, because the line is going to go like flat. This is, although it looks bouncy at the minute, this is going to be flat, and then it's just going to do that. So yeah. Jesus, SC is almost at the big billion. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. 48 mil away. Less than 48 mil away. Any date on Alien Week? Not sure. The one thing that stood out, as we found on Sunday, which is really cool, because it came out in the progress report from a little while ago, the Gatak Raelian is on track to be released for Alien Week. So there we go. Dreading and looking forward to the Orion. That's going to be busy. It's going to be busy keeping that ship going. 100%. Basically strip mining, as opposed to getting in with a pickaxe like the Golem is. Yeah, that thing's going to be strip mining. It's going to be crazy. Yeah. So, guess I'm set. I have Golem to make money in the Mark Two. It says cheese. Absolutely. Nice. Yeah, nice. You've got cargo hauling, you've got combat, and you've got mining. And you've done all that for what? $100? There or thereabouts? Nice. Funding is updated. Let's have a look. They've made just under $500,000 in an hour. Yeah, 487,718 on a $45 ship. Oh dear. Yeah. What looked like a mountain was like, I told you, didn't I? We're going to go flat and then just go boing. Yep. That's it. So that'll be that hour now. That was your 7,500 hour. And then it does that. Holy cow. Yeah, potentially lots of new players, definitely lots of people. And what's incredible about that is that does not count all the people who have melted other ships and just bought it with store credit. So if you're on the $45 Mark 1 and you go, I'll go to Mark 2, that's no extra money. Do you think the Hull B will bring more money? So the Hull B is interesting. I do feel like if you wanted the Hull B, you would have got it by now. What compounds that, Sylvan, is the other thing is they warned us at IE, for those that were paying attention or watching the streams and being told that sort of stuff, that the Hull B at IE last year was the last time it was going to be seen at that price. So I think I've got 4 CCUs to it. I've got 2 CCUs that are new money that I can basically sell, because I think the Hull B is going to go up massively in price. Very much like the Vulture and everything just did. Sorry, the Raft and everything just did. I've also got the, I've got a couple of store credit ones that I can't gift, i.e. sell, and those are there just so I can ride that huge price increase. So the whole there's also the people out there who won't buy ships until they're released, right? They'll go, I'm not buying a concept. I want to see what it's like in game, and I think those people will jump on the whole B, but I do think it's going to go up in price quite significantly. If you look at where it is in price now, the raft has obviously massively gone up in price, and it has nothing like the capacity. So for it to be cheaper than the raft does not make sense once it's released. So I think it's going to go up quite a bit. I think it's going to surprise people what it goes up to. When you look at the whole C and where that ended up. Sorry, I'm throwing things on the floor here and I shouldn't be. So, yeet. So there we go. That's been really interesting. I'm thank you for guys for sticking this out and waiting for the release. I know it's not always fun waiting for CIG to get stuff out, but that is something else entirely. I'm really pleased that that's gone out, and come out in the way that it is. Once again, I think, when we see things like financials from CIG and that sort of stuff, those sorts of things come out, the way the financial sector is regulated in the UK, those financials don't have to come out to a couple of years afterwards, so you're always time late. And that always leads to speculation about how healthy or not CIG is in the financial scape. Seeing this is yet another reassurance that CIG are doing fine financially, because they could have grabbed so much more with this. They could have gone, as we were talking about, they could have, if they'd wanted to, gone $65, $70 with the ship and then the modules on top, which would have been almost double the price by the time you put the modules on top. So they're doing fine. That's how I'm going to read that. That's how I choose to interpret it. So there we go. I'm looking forward to the Liberator coming out too, says Jabba. I'm calling close to $300 for the whole B. It's going to be up there. Lemais says 250 easy. Power for Guergos says probably about $200. Yeah, that's going to be that. Whatever it ends up being, it's going to be quite a significant increase to where it is now. Kingin, welcome in, buddy. You're catching us just at the end, my friend, but obviously the stream will be up there. Just in case you are wondering, the Aurora Mark Two modular, $45 base. Each module is $9 on top. It comes with 2 SCU as standard, 6 SCU extra if you buy the cargo module, and the combat or the defense module, as they're calling it, 8 size 2 missiles and an extra SEAL gen, taking it from 1 to 2. And the modular system works properly. So you can get a tractor beam and remove the module, send it down in the elevator and bring the other one up. There are also some gorgeous looking paints. If you buy Warge Bond, you'll get the iridescent shimmer scale paint for free. So those are the headlines. That's what's going on with the Aurora Mark II. For everyone else, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for bearing with us. It was an hour later than we expected. Keep an eye out on your subscription feed. The video, my first look at the Aurora Mark II in-game, will be up as soon as I am able. Looking really, really good. You've been watching Drinkers with Gaming Problems. Thank you very much for stopping by. I'll see you soon.